Good morning, class. Today we are going to start a new topic that is called meiosis. In the previous video, we discussed about the first kind of a division of a cell called meiosis. Among a few people, they asked me so many questions, which I will later answer in this video about meiosis by the end of this video. Today we will start this new topic called meiosis. As we discussed in the chapter 4, reproduction, that living organisms, they reproduce themselves. So for the sake of the reproduction, they have a kind of a specialized cells, and those are called the germ cells, and from those cells they produce a new kind of a cell. The reason of calling this as a new kind of a cell is that those cells we saw in the reproduction, they possess the chromosome number half as of the parents. So when those two different cells of the two different members of the same species called a male and a female, when they were combining with one another, so they were forming a new kind of a cell called zygote. So in that chapter we discussed in detail about the reproduction, but here we will discuss what is meiosis, how it is going to happen, and by the end of meiosis, what kind of cells and what kind of chromosome number we will have in the daughter cell. So as I have written something on the board as well, this is a kind of a cell division, and it occurs in those living organisms which are sexually reproducing living organisms. So it occurs in plants, it occurs in animals, it occurs in fungi, it occurs in algae as well. So when those living organisms they go through with the meiosis, if you see in the plant, chapter number 4, the plant possesses sporangia, and in that sporangia, those plants were making spores by the process of meiosis. They were making their spores, and those spores they were of the half number of chromosomes as compared to their mother microsporocyte and mother megasporocytes. And in animals, it occurs in gonads, the cells of the gonads, which were making the gametes called the sperm and the egg. We are calling these cells as the specialized cells because they possess the half number of the chromosomes, and those cells are produced by the process of this meiosis. So this is called a reduction division. So meiosis is not called the reduction division because in the meiosis the number of chromosomes they remain same as it is in the daughter cells as compared to their parent cell. But in meiosis the number of chromosomes will become half. So as you can see, it is called the reduction division because the number of chromosomes will become half as compared to their parent cells. If we talk about meiosis, so it do not go through with the two kind of division, but in meiosis it is going to be completed in two kinds of the phases. The one is called meiosis 1 and another one is called meiosis 2. As we discussed in the start of this chapter, whatsoever you are going to do with the cell, a cell is going to divide with meiosis, or a cell is going to divide with meiosis, it will go through first of all interphase. So for meiosis 1, it will be called an interphase 1. In that interphase 1, there will be G1, there will be S phase, there will be G2 phase, and then prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So when that cell will go through meiosis interface 2 is that in interface 2 there will be G1, there will be G1, but there will be no any kind of S phase, which we will discuss in how the S phase is not going to happen. So as I have written already on the board, in the interface 2, all the two phases will go on by their process, but the S phase will not going to happen. So after that, G1 there will be G2, and then prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. So this is a kind of division in which we maintain the number of chromosomes among a species from their generation to generation. If you look at your generation, your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather, so all the members of that species, they carry the number of chromosomes because they go through the meiosis. Their diploid cell is going to become haploid cell, and when we unite that haploid cell of one member of the species and another haploid cell of another member, so then we will have again a diploid number of chromosomes in a cell, what we call the zygote, and from that zygote there will be called a process, mitosis. So this is called an introduction of meiosis. Now we will discuss in detail what is meiosis and how this is going to occur. So we will discuss in interface 2, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So let's move. So now we are going to start the meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, there will be called interface 1, and in interface 1 there will be the first phase called the G1, in which a cell collects all the molecules and a cell maintains all the parameters in which it is going to be divided into the daughter cell. So all these preparations will occur in this phase called the G1 phase. And after that there will be a checkpoint, and that checkpoint will enter the next phase, and it is called S phase. You people may remember, this is called synthesis phase. Synthesis means the synthesis of DNA. The synthesis of DNA, I repeat here again, we have a DNA, and from that DNA we will make to another DNA. So if you have a chromatid, if you remember, we had this image by the end of the telophase. By the end of this telophase. So in the S phase we synthesize, this is called one chromatid, one DNA. So by the end of the prophase, by the end of the synthesis phase, we will have this kind of image. But keep one thing in mind, this chromosome will not be observed here. This is just to let you know if we have the chromatid in one DNA, so in the S phase we make this DNA into two new DNA that we discussed in chapter 6, the replication of DNA by semi-conservative way. So by saying this, it means that you will not be able to see this kind of a structure in the S phase, but you will consider this kind of image in your mind. If we have chromatid before, if we have chromatid of this size before S phase, after the S phase we will have a bigger image of that chromatid, because in that chromatid, if there is one DNA, we have doubled this DNA by the 2. So by this means this will happen in the S phase. So this is why it is called synthesis phase. I repeat here again, this structure is not visible during the S phase. This means if we have one chromatid S shape of chromosome number 2. So we will all double. I mean, if you say that these two are called the sister chromatids, so that another molecule of DNA is made possible by the S phase. So this is why it is called synthesis phase. So after that synthesis phase, we will have another phase called the G2 phase, in which a cell prepares itself for the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So after that interphase, we know there is another phase of a cell called mitosis phase, which involves prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. But as this topic is called meiosis 1, so this mitosis phase 1 will be called as prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and the telophase 1. But you can see as well, I have written some other names as well. So these are called the sub-stages of this prophase 1. You will not be able to see these kind of phases called leptogene, zygogene, pachygene, diplogene, and dikinesis in the mitosis, which we discussed earlier in the previous lecture. So this is a kind of a difference between mitosis division and meiosis cell division. Interphase is of the same as mitosis as in meiosis 1. But if we talk about mitosis phase 1, this will involve prophase 1, and that prophase 1 will involve these 5 different substages. If you recall the concept of the prophase, there are 3 jobs to be done in the prophase. So we will do those 3 jobs in these following 5 phases. After that, I will also explain these phases one by one. But to let you know, I have written these things before. This will be called as prophase 1. In that prophase 1, first of all, there will be leptogene, there will be zygogene, pachygene, diplogene, and dikinesis. These 5 phases, they do not occur in mitosis. By saying mitosis means in which we keep the chromosome number same as the parent cell in the daughter cell same. In that kind of cell division, I mean in that kind of division in which we keep the chromosome number same, or the cell it keeps its chromosome number same, it will not involve any kind of leptogene, zygogene, pachygene, diplogene, and dikinesis. They will only be involved in the prophase 1. After prophase, there will be called the metaphase. If you remember the job of metaphase, there are the two things that will happen in metaphase. But metaphase 1 is also a kind of a different nature, as metaphase occurs in the mitosis division. The mitosis, again I am saying mitosis means that division in which the chromosome number are kept the same. So the metaphase 1, we will also discuss how this is going to be different as of the mitosis. The anaphase 1, it will only involve the movement of the chromosomes to their respective poles. But here I will again mention that this is also of the different, some bit of different as of the mitosis. Telophase is of the same of mitosis and meiosis. The reoccurrence of the cell nuclear membrane and the nucleolus. So this is a kind of introduction about meiosis 1. That in meiosis 1, first of all, there will be an interphase 1. In interphase 1, there will be G1, in which that cell will collect all the molecules, all the enzymes, all the proteins. It will maintain all the factors which are required for cell division. After that, there will be S phase, synthesis phase, in which that cell will synthesize its DNA, will make its DNA double. After that, there will be called the G2 phase, and after that G2 phase, there will be mitotic phase of that cell. In that mitotic phase, there will be prophase 1. In prophase 1, different sub-stages. These sub-stages, they are not involved in the mitosis division, in which the chromosomes number are kept same. In the metaphase, there is a kind of a slight difference between metaphase 1 and the metaphase we discussed of mitosis. Anaphase 1, it is also a kind of a different. So this is for anaphase. This is end of the meiosis 1. Now let's discuss the leptogene. So now we are discussing the prophase 1, and in the prophase 1 there is first stage or the sub-stage is called the leptogene. If you remember the chapter number 6, in which we discussed in the very first topic, on the very first lecture of chapter 6, we discussed chromatin, chromosome, chromatid, chromonema. These all are the names. They are the form of a structure, and in that structure, if we will disrupt or if we will uncoil these structures, we will find a DNA molecule. If you are saying that we have 46 chromosomes in our cell, it means we have 46 molecules of DNA, except at one place where we replicate our DNA into two. For that sake, we are going to divide the DNA equally in the daughter cell. So at that time, you can say we have the 92 chromatids for some time, for a while, but after that, when a cell is completely formed by division, at that time we will have the chromosome number same as they were in the parent cell. So what happens in the leptogene? Leptogene initiates prophase 1, meiosis 1. In that leptogene phase, we will see a chromatin. This is called chromatin. Chromatin is the connection of these threads, as these threads are not in the condensed form. If you remember the prophase, the very first thing in prophase will it will start the condensing of the chromatin into the chromosome. But in the leptogene, you will not be able to see the complete or the mature chromosome, but you can say in the leptogene, the condensing of the chromatin starts, and when it starts, the condensing of chromatin, it results into a new kind of a structure called chromonema. This single is called chromonema. By the end of prophase, you will see this as a single mature chromosome. So if you can name this as chromosome number 1, and this will be its chromosome number 2. Why I am giving this as chromosome number 2? Because they are the homologous chromosomes, and this appearance of chromosome is called chromonema. This is the difference, the very first difference between mitosis and meiosis, or you can say the difference of prophase of meiosis and mitosis is that in the prophase of mitosis, there is also the first stage called the condensing of chromatin into chromosome. This is also same happening, but the difference is that in the condensing of chromatin into chromosome of mitosis, you will not be able to see this kind of structure of chromosome. This structure called chromonema, this whole structure is called chromonema, and the dense area of this structure is called chromomere. If you want to revise your concept about this structure, you can also see on the page number 144. They are, it's already written over there. During meiosis, the chromatin will look like a thread. The We are not calling this as a complete chromosome because we call this structure as a complete or a mature chromosome. By the end of prophase, we will be able to see this structure, but this structure is a mature form and these are called the immature form. So first of all, in leptothene, your chromatin will condense into a structure and that structure is called chromonema. The dense areas, they are called chromomere. The dense area or the chromomere of chromonema 1 is the same as of the of the chromonema number 2. You can see that these two chromomeres are at the same place. The reason they are at the same place because these two are homologous chromosomes. In the next phase, you will be able to see this structure as like this, the chromatid, and by the end of that prophase, you will be able to see this structure. As we have mentioned in the previous videos as well, the job of prophase, the things that are going to happen in the prophase, first of all is that the condensing of chromatin into chromatids, then finally into chromosome. Same will happen in this prophase as well, but it will occur in different substages. So the very first substage is called leptothene, in which chromatin will condense itself into a new structure called chromonema. You will not be able to see this chromonema in the mitosis or in the general mitosis, in which a chromosome divides itself equally into the daughter cell, but you will see this structure in the meiosis. So this will be called, in future it will be chromosome number 1 like this, and it will be chromosome number 2 like this. This will be called chromosome number 3 and this will be called as chromosome number 4 because these two are homologous, and these two are homologous. This is an indication of prophase that chromosome in chromatin which are of the same size, same shape, by means of same size and same shape means they carry the same genes within themselves. The sequence may be different of the nucleotide, but the type of the gene will be same in chromosome number 1 and in chromosome number 2. The chromosome number 3 and chromosome number 4 will be the same. The chromosome number 5 and number 6 will be called as homologous chromosome. So a cell possesses how many number of the chromosomes? It will condense in this manner. In which manner? Chromatin will condense into chromonema. This is called a chromonema. This is called a chromonema. This is called a chromonema. In the upcoming stages, after leptothene, you will be able to see the chromatids, and in the last stage or by the end of this prophase, you will be able to see a mature chromosome. So this is it with the leptothene. Now let's move to the another stage called zygote. The new stage or the next substage of the prophase 1 is called zygote. In the zygote, what will happen? If you can see, this is a chromatin, and in leptothene, what happened? This condensed into a fine thread-like structure called the leptothene, and after that structure you are looking, and as I said previously in the leptothene, this chromonema will be converted into a new or a well-matured structure called a chromatid. So this is called a chromatid, and this is called a chromatid. One more thing important here is that you have to mention as well that this is chromosome number 1 and this is chromosome number 2. So in the whole chromatin, the chromosomes which are of same size and same shape, or you can say the chromonema of the same size and the same shape, they condense more because prophase is still going on, and the condensing of chromatin into chromosome will occur throughout the whole prophase. So this is still going on. That is why I am saying we are condensing this chromonema into a new structure. So in this stage or the zygote, what will happen? The homologous chromosomes, they will approach each other. And they form a kind of a structure bivalent because the prophase is still going on, it is not completed. That is why we will not be able to see the sister chromatid. This is a difference, you can say, between the mitosis and meiosis prophase, that in the prophase of mitosis, homologous chromosomes, they also come closer to each other. To form a pair, but they are not intimately attached with one another. I repeat, this is a kind of a difference between mitosis and meiosis, and especially in the prophase of mitosis and prophase of meiosis is that in the prophase of mitosis there is also a chromatin. It is also going to be condensed first into chromatin, then finally into chromosome. But in the prophase of mitosis, process of mitosis, there isn't any such type of intimate attraction between the centromeres and between the arms of the two homologous chromosomes. So this intimate association is happening due to a kind of force, a kind of attractive force between these two chromatids, and this is called synapses. It is a kind of attraction as well, and it is also called the joining proportions. As you can see, these two chromatids are joined at one place over here, and they are joined at one place over here. You will not be able to see this type of jointment or this type of close attraction in the prophase of mitosis. I repeat, as I said, there isn't any kind of lactote, zygote, packaging diagenesis in the prophase of mitosis, but there are these substages involved in the prophase of meiosis. So in the prophase of meiosis 1, we are calling it prophase 1, there is another stage, second stage called zygote, in which what happens? These chromonema, they approaches each other because now they are condensed into the chromatid, and these two chromatids will approach each other and they will form a kind of a structure. As you can see, the two centromeres are attached with one another intimately. I repeat, if someone draws the chromatids like this and the chromatids like this, and if they ask what is the difference between these two chromatids, so you can easily say that this is the structure or this is happening during the prophase of mitosis, because in that prophase there isn't any kind of intimate attachment between these two chromatids of the homologous chromosomes, but this is a kind of a structure called bivalent, means these are two chromosomes. So by this kind of thing, by this kind of attraction or by this kind of form, you will say we have the half number of chromosomes there are two centromeres. For that reason, we will call this as the two individual chromosomes, but they are so close and they are intimately, intimate means very close, they are intimately attached with one another. For that reason, it is also written in the book, okay, you will have the image of your nucleus as the half number of the chromosomes, but they are not the half number of chromosomes, they are complete number of chromosomes, because still it is prophase going on. After that it will be metaphase, anaphase, then you will be able to say, okay, yes, now we have divided the chromosomes. But I repeat, this structure is called a bivalent, means the two chromatids, they are intimately attached with one another. So this happens during the zygote, means in a zygote a bivalent is formed. We had chromatids, we condensed this chromatid into chromonema in the first stage called diploid, and now in zygote these two chromonema, they will be converted into chromatid, and these two chromatids will approach with one another. Why they are approaching one another? Because they are homologous chromosomes, and in the prophase, whenever we condense a chromatid into chromosome, what happens? Sir, the homologous chromosomes, they come together and they form a kind of a pair, because they are of the same size and the same shape. By means of same size and same shape means they carry the same kind of the genes in their DNA molecules. Here a bivalent is formed. A bivalent means the intimate attraction between the two chromatids, and this is happening due to synapses, a kind of force between the two chromatids which are pulling one another towards itself. So this is called a bivalent structure, and the force between these two which are holding them by such intimacy is called the synapses. It's just a force between the charges of these two molecules. So this is it by today. In the next lecture tomorrow inshallah, or the day after tomorrow, we will discuss the new topic. If you talk about the previous mitosis, as I have mentioned in this lecture as well, we have chromatin. We